So we are going to watch today. Trigger warning, chat. I just like to say this is true crime. So this is an actual real life true crime case that happened. It's a video called The Coldest Case Ever Solved. It's on the Matt Orchard Crime and Society channel. I don't think I've watched any videos on this channel before, but I know people have been recommending it for a really long time. So anyway, should we just jump right into it? Again, trigger warning. This could and probably will have some triggering subjects in it. So if you're not into that kind of stuff, please feel free to leave. You don't need to stick around. It's totally fine. I'll be playing Phasmophobia at 6 p.m. So this video is an hour long. So come back in like an hour and a half. We should be done with it. So yeah, let's do it. Let's watch some true crime. It's been a while, chat. Please feel free to put whatever the heck you're thinking in the chat. Just make sure you're very polite and respectful. That's all I ask. Please be respectful and remember that this is true crime. What is this case about? I honestly actually have no idea. It's just the title that sold me.
Just isn't hitting the spot anymore. Food, early access. You're waiting for the next.
All right.
While there are an array of qualities that may bring any crime or criminal into the public spotlight, there are very few things more prone to capture the public's imagination.
Can you guys hear it okay? Captions. Captions on. Volume full. Let me just check. Open volume mixer. Do you ever watch videos at a faster speed? Not on stream, no. Is it a little quiet?
Than a cold case. You might want to ascribe something noble to the attraction that many people seem to have with real-life murder mysteries.
Let's get cozy.
A yearning to see victims' lives honored and perpetrators brought to justice, for instance. But a more realistic, if not somewhat cynical explanation is that people just really love to know how a story ends.
Yeah, so
and
that's
when
exactly...
they're deprived of that, it drives them crazy.
This is exactly why I don't watch or listen to cold cases anymore. I used to be really into listening to cold cases and watching cold cases, and then I realized how much of my time I was putting into like researching them afterwards, and just wasn't actually, it doesn't, obviously it's like really important to bring awareness to cold cases and like try and solve them. It's so important, but like for me it was just really not doing my mental health any good, so I tried to stay away from them. But
Today's story was one without an ending for the longest time, so long that when it was finally resolved in 2012, it was labeled in the press as the oldest solved cold case in American history. It starts on a snowy December evening.
I actually have no idea what this video is about. Chat, has anyone watched this before? Has anyone watched this video?
In 1957, in the small town of Sycamore, Illinois, when a little girl named Maria Ridolph is let out.
I remember this one. It's a good one. I love true crime. It's my job. Wait, true crime is your job? Like, is it actually your job, or is it your hobby that you love? Never seen this. I've not seen this, no. Which is really nice. You guys know I get really excited to watch cases I've never heard of on stream before, and I feel like I don't know if I've heard of this one. Let's see.
Out to play with her friend Kathy Sigmund. The girls are playing on the street near Maria's house when around 6:30 p.m. they are approached by a young man wearing a colourful sweater. He was about average height, had blonde hair, a gap in his teeth, and went by the name Johnny. After introducing himself, Johnny asked if the girls liked dolls and piggyback rides. All of this is based off of Kathy Sigmund's account. She ran into her house to grab mittens while Johnny was giving Maria a piggyback ride. And that was the last time that anyone saw Maria Ridolph alive. The abduction of Maria Ridolph devastated the town of Sycamore and gained national attention, to the point that even FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover was asking for personal daily updates on the 7-year-old's disappearance.
Oh my god.
But in spite of an intense search and investigative...
That's so fucking awful. So there were two girls just playing out in the street, and one of them went inside to go get some mittens, and the other one was getting a piggyback off this stranger, and then came back out and they were just gone.
It seemed as if Maria Ridolph and the nefarious young man who called himself Johnny had disappeared into thin air. until about 5 months later, on April 26, 1958, when a couple that were hunting for mushrooms in a wooded area over 100 miles from Sycamore stumbled across a small, decomposed body, a body that would soon be confirmed as that of Maria Ridolph. The worst was now
No.
confirmed, and while losing
Wait, sorry,
a
how
child
much later was that?
over 19 until about 5 months later,
5
on
months
April
later.
26, 1958, when a couple that were hunting for mushrooms in a wooded area over 100 miles from Sycamore stumbled across a small, decomposed body, a body that would soon be confirmed as that of Maria Ridolph. The worst was now confirmed, and while losing a child in such a horrific manner could be said to be the worst thing a parent could possibly imagine going through, the one thing that could make such an ordeal even more tormenting still is having to live with the knowledge that the monster responsible for taking your baby's life and innocence is still out there.
Yeah, you just can't fucking imagine. You can't imagine.
That is a burden that the parents of Maria Ridolph would take to their graves, as the authorities of the time and in
No.
the decades that followed would fail to apprehend the man who had taken their daughter. But that wasn't for a lack of trying. As stated, the investigation was intense, and bolstered further by nationwide intrigue. In the days following her abduction, the police and FBI investigated hundreds of potential suspects, all of whom were cleared. One door they knocked on during that period was the Tessier residence on 227 Centre Cross Street, only a few doors down from where Maria was taken. The person of interest in the Tessier family certainly seemed to fit the bill. 18-year-old John Tessier, known to friends as Johnny, stood at 5 foot 11 inches tall, had blonde hair, and even a gap in his front teeth.
I honestly thought it was going to be someone a lot older. I don't know why. I don't know. Sorry, I just had like a Steam gift come up and I was like, what on earth is going on? May Muna, thank you so much for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome back for another month. Yeah, I really thought it was going to be someone older. I don't know why.
But supposedly, logistics did not allow him to be the culprit. According to John Tessier's sisters, when police questioned his mother Eileen, she assured them that John was home all night. Besides that, the boy had no sort of history that would seem to be in line with that of a child abductor, and he was well known in the neighborhood where the episode had taken place. FBI agents took John Tessier off their suspect list after he passed a lie detector on the matter on December 10th. The very next day, he left home to join the military. And that was the last time that John Tessier's name was ever really spoken in the same breath as Maria Ridolph's. That is until 36 years later, in 1994, when Eileen Tessier was lying on her deathbed. Eileen called out to her daughter and John Tessier's half-sister, Janet. According to Janet Tessier, Eileen confided in her the following words. "Those 2 little girls and the one that disappeared. John did it. John did it. And you have to tell someone." And Janet did tell someone, yet it would still be a long time before the case was actually reopened.
That's such like an unusual thing. You know when there's so many serial killers who just like take it to the grave with them and it's like the most frustrating fucking arsehole thing you can do ever? You don't often see stuff like that. Francis, thank you so much for the 12 months. Says, oh my god, okay, I might do a little cry, but it's our 1-year anniversary, Koji. Thank you so much for a whole year. I hope you're having a great week. Thank you.
Opened. In the years that followed, Janet Tessier made numerous attempts to bring her mother's words to the attention of someone that might have the power to do something, but every time she was dismissed. This was in spite of the fact that she had more to offer than just the words of an elderly woman days from death's door. Though Janet was not old enough at the time of Maria's abduction to remember the event in her adult years, John's other 2 half-sisters...
I was going to say, like, imagine if someone confessed to, like, a murder, or knowing who a murderer was on their deathbed. If you didn't have it on, like, video or anything, then it really wouldn't be worth that much, would it? If you went to the police and they were like, they said this. I mean, it's something for them to look into, I guess. But if they've already looked at that person and it doesn't actually offer any more information, I guess it's like,
Jean and Catherine were. They remembered hearing their mother tell the police that John was home all night, and the reason they remembered it so vividly was because they knew at the time it wasn't true. Truth be told, they had never been able to shake a suspicion that John was responsible, and their mother's dying words confirmed what had nagged at them for all those years. But when Janet contacted Sycamore Police several times over a number of years by her account, the answer was always the same. John Tessier had been investigated and cleared at the time. The alleged words of a dying woman were not enough to bring charges, and the 36-year-old memories of her two daughters didn't do much to improve things.
That's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. Bye, Lisa. There's a TikTok trend of a lot of healthcare workers saying people confess all the time on their deathbed. Really? I try not to go on TikTok because I just lose hours on it, and yeah, I just try not to go on it. I haven't heard or seen anything like that, but that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Rudolph case remained as cold as could be. But finally, on September 11th of 2008, Janet Tessier sent an email to Illinois State Police, and for whatever reason, this time, something about what she was saying resonated with someone on the receiving end. That person was State Police Commander Tony Rapaz. He decided there was enough to her story to put two-star investigators, Larry Cott and Brian Hanley, on the case, and they uncovered quite a bit about John Tessier's past to suggest that this well could be a strong lead after all.
I wonder, you know, it said he, like, literally disappeared the day after and joined the military. I wonder if he, like, had already had that planned, or whether he just literally, like, got cleared from the interview and joined the military and disappeared straight the day after. Like, I know you can't just join the military that quickly these days, but I don't know if you could have back then. But, like, surely that just looks really dodgy if he genuinely just, like, joined the military the next day and disappeared.
First of all, he fit the bill of a child abductor much more clearly than when authorities first glanced at him when he was only 18 years old. His sister Jean alleged that he had molested her and other girls in the neighborhood when she was growing up. And Jean Tessier was not the only person investigators spoke to that could attest to John having sexual interest in young girls, including those in his own family. When they spoke to one of his ex-wives, Denise Trexler, she told them that she had discovered a naked photo of his 12-year-old daughter from another marriage taped to the bottom of a drawer in their house. The girl's name was Christine Marie Tessier. At the age of 34, she went missing before showing up dead about a month later, next to a drainage ditch on a local golf course. She was apparently last seen with her boyfriend, but no one has ever been charged with her murder. Investigators also came across a woman named Pamela Long, who had a particularly striking story to tell, given the circumstances of Maria's disappearance. Pamela grew up in the same neighborhood, and when she was around Maria's age, an older boy offered her a piggyback ride, which she accepted. Around Maria's age, an older boy offered her a piggyback ride, which she accepted. Pamela's father, who was nearby, saw what was going on and immediately deemed it to be completely inappropriate. He ran over, pulled Pamela off of the boy's back, and strongly warned the teen not to approach his daughter again. The boy was known to the rest of the neighborhood to be strange, and
yeah, chat, I know we have a new animated Patu emote. We also have the non-animated one still, because I just like both of them. And you can use, I guess if you're on mobile, it's easier to use the one that already has the spit coming out the mouth because they don't move on mobile or whatever. But please feel free to Patu as much as you would physically like to today. Please feel free, at least during this video, because obviously we don't know, I guess, at this point whether this person's guilty of the original victim, but however, they're obviously very, very unwell and disgusting. Anyway.
And the boy was John Tessier. There was no doubt.
Holy shit, that's a lot of Patuas in the chat. Hi, Patu Army. I didn't know you guys were all here. Hi, Patu Army. It's good to see you guys. I hope you're doing good. I'm glad you're here on your Friday afternoon or morning or evening, spamming spitting emotes in my Twitch chat right now.
Doubt about it. John Tessier had changed his name in the early 90s to Jack McCullough, taking his mother's maiden name and simply preferring Jack, and he now lived in Seattle, Washington. On June 29th of 2011, based on the discoveries we've just been over and more that we'll get into shortly, McCullough was brought in to Seattle Police Headquarters for questioning in relation to the disappearance of Maria Ridolph.
We've not been formally introduced. I'm Dave Zalowski. Dave, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I actually didn't know that this video... Oh, wow. I didn't know this video was going to consist of... Like, I genuinely have been really wanting to watch this video. But I didn't want to watch any of it because I didn't want to ruin it. I didn't want to spoil it before I watched it with you guys on stream because it's like actually finally something I've never heard of or seen before. So I was really excited to just experience that with you guys. But this has so much interview footage. It's like mainly interview footage, which is, you guys know, that's exactly like what I love to watch the most. I really like to watch like the interrogation and the body language and stuff. Hi, McCoy. I love you too.
Brian.
Hey, Lola.
Brian.
Sending love from South Korea. Hey, what's up? I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope everyone's okay. Remember, if you need to just take a break from the screen or the story, just go grab yourself a water and a snack. Have a stretch or something.
I'm an investigator, and Brian's with Illinois State Police. And
with who?
Illinois State Police.
Really?
Yeah. And what you probably remember a long time ago, back 50 years ago, a young girl was abducted.
I called that in. I called the FBI about that.
Okay. Back in
Goth boy, click.
December 3rd, 1957.
Maria.
Maria, exactly.
Yes.
And
Ledan, thank you so much for the 11 months. It's almost a year. Love you, Koji. Thanks to the vibes. Feel better. Thank you so much. Almost a year. Let's go, Ledan.
we've been going through and doing some new interviewing and new investigations regarding that.
Yeah, I'd be glad to help with that.
And you've been divorced 3 times?
You're investigating the child, right? You're not investigating me.
Right. This is a personal history form.
All right.
We fill this out for everybody.
All right.
Our command wants us. Yeah.
There's nothing like more. Oh God, there's nothing more frustrating than like I hate watching true crime shows where I know they say there's like, I'm not sure what the exact saying is, but they say there's like no time span on justice. Well, I don't, that's not the saying, but something along those lines. And I guess that is somewhat true, but there's nothing worse than seeing someone who's like lived their entire life pretty much just carefree after doing the most horrific things. I don't know if you guys, chat, have you guys ever watched the documentary about what's it called? Let me find it. It's on, is it The Devil Next Door? The Devil... Yeah, The Devil Next Door. It's all about a Cleveland grandfather is brought to trial in Israel, accused of being the infamous Nazi death camp guard known as Ivan. And that's all I can see in the description right there. It's all about someone who potentially worked in a Nazi death camp and then moved to America and lived their life. If you haven't watched it, you should really watch it. But it's very frustrating to watch, even if you don't know whether this person has done it or not, or whether you believe they did or didn't. It's very frustrating to look at someone who's potentially just lived a very like nice, cozy, comfortable life after doing the most horrific things. Kelsey, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Taz Lynn. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Can we get a little bit of love in the chat, please? I always like taking these little breaks. I hope if you're new to watching me, if you're new to watching how I watch true crime, I always like to take breaks to talk about A, what I'm thinking, and B, just like take little breathers from it if it gets a bit heavy, you know? Which is why I guess we spam love in the chat. We spam patoos in the chat because it's just like, it's a lot easier to watch these things together. And it's also nice to just take, well, I personally find it nice to take little breaks from it every now and again when it gets a bit heavy.
Mm-hmm. I just do what I'm told,
Yeah.
you know?
You know why I said you weren't from here?
Why is that?
You got a tan.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a joke. What do you call somebody in Seattle with a tan? Stranger.
One interesting quality of Jack McCullough's interrogation is that he will veer back and forth between completely cooperative and hostile or borderline hostile repeatedly. For what it's worth, he was brought into the room in cuffs, so he is likely not in two minds about whether or not he is under suspicion.
If you cannot
Esther, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Martine. Thank you so much. And guys, remember, if you got gifted a sub, please remember to say thank you. Isabella B, thank you so much for the 3 months. It's happy to be back. Welcome back. Thank you for the prime. Any primers, chat?
afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you free of cost
primers in the
before questioning if you wish. And you understand that.
That's all good advice. I'm on your side on this.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
Right. I mean, like I said,
We just
Yeah, right,
gotta
right,
follow
right.
the boss's rules. You know?
yeah,
Right.
right. Okay.
Because if the forms ain't filled out,
Yeah.
Okay, when, are you gonna get to the good part now?
We are done with my
Okay.
part.
What's the good part?
I had a dream, and then it reminded me of a conversation.
Just a heads up, chat, that if my stream starts lagging, it probably won't be lagging for long. I just realized I need to download Phasmophobia so we can play it after this. So I just got it downloading. Anyone just joining us, I am making a huge, great return to Phasmophobia tonight.
I had.
If you've watched my stream for a while, you know how much that means to me, and I know how much people have missed it. So 6 p.m. that is, 2 hours from now.
As a kid, there's a little grade school that's only a block away from my home in Sycamore, which is 226. Oh, you want to write that down? The address in Sycamore?
Okay.
227 Center Cross Street. I was talking to a kid, and he said, "You see that guy over there?" I was probably 17, 18, 17. Anyway, and he said, "Stay away from that kid. He wants to talk about sex." Okay, so this kid. Now I'm going to have to reach back and remember his name. I think I wrote it to the FBI. But it bothered me enough where I called up, and he lived with two boys named Davies. Don Davies is one of them, and I don't remember the other one. But he was a kid they allowed to stay with them. He didn't have a home in Sycamore.
so he's like a foster kid kind of a thing.
And on the same block as Maria lived.
It can't be said for sure whether or not McCullough's story of tipping the FBI off to a boy who was said to like talking about sex and lived on the same block as Maria some 50-odd years
Goth
after
boy
the fact
click.
when the memory miraculously came back to him in a dream is true. But no records from the FBI confirming this communication have ever come to light. The
Elena, thank you so much for the 7 months. Says 7 months since you held me hostage here. Literally, I'm not.
investigators continue to question McCullough about his family background and then bring him back to the day of December 3rd, 1957.
I hate, like, right now, I hate his body language and stuff. I love how he's just, like, leaning back, hand on the table, like, thinks he's, like, dominating and owning this situation, and, he, like, they're gonna gobble up all the shit he's just putting out there. It's really annoying me to watch. I really hope they, like, really stick it on him. I hope they stick it on him in a minute, you know? Like, I hope they change the vibe of the room and start becoming... I guess, like, right now... Oh, he's mimicking the cop. That's really interesting, because actually, you're exactly right. Holy shit, you're exactly right. Look at that. Exactly the same. They've even got the knees... Holy shit, what the fuck? You're actually right. You're right. It's the body language is like exactly the same, and they're both like looking into this area of the room.
I want to go back to
Wow, well spotted.
And this to me is kind of a
Oh,
thing,
did the cop? Wait, who? So we're we're on 1338.
police.
Let's watch this.
He was likely not.
He's already saying like
Like I
this.
said,
We just
Yeah, so the cop did mimic him. When does he do it? After he stops writing down?
College of tipping the FBI off.
Wow, that's so interesting. That's so interesting.
Sycamore. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody who we've talked to who's
You're gonna like this. Go ahead.
yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
So
Well spotted.
tell me kind of what you remember about that.
The day Maria was kidnapped, I was in the induction center in Chicago, joining the Air Force. I spent the entire day there, and they have a record of it minute by minute. I was really pissed. The FBI had talked to me back then as a suspect, and they even interrogated me, and is because the suspect that they think took Maria had a green coat, and I had a favorite green jacket at the time. So, you know, I'm sure they asked the neighbors, you know, anybody with a green jacket? And yeah, Jack's got one.
So so how did you wind up at the induction center?
I don't know how I got there. I may have taken the train, but I was there most of the day, and yeah, and you can check with the FBI because they gave me a lie detector test, and I was disappointed in them, really, really disappointed, because I had an ironclad alibi of where I was, and they didn't even check, didn't even make a phone call. I was very disappointed.
Well, let's go back and kind of walk me through, because they said you let's go to the day before, because you were going downtown or something. Tell me as much as you can remember about, in as much detail as you can remember.
Oh, you mean about downtown Chicago?
Yeah. How did you get downtown?
See, I don't remember. I mean, we're talking about many years ago.
Shit, I think I just missed something, chat. I was just messaging Steve real quick. What did I miss, chat? Man looks like Sirius Black wrapped in that thing. Bro, Sirius Black is cool as fuck. Do you guys want me to... Guys, actually, this is something that people say all the time, that they watch these videos in faster speed. Let's do a poll. Would you guys like me to watch it in, like... what speed for video? 1 times is normal, 1.25 times, or 1.5 times. If you guys would like to speed it up, I really don't mind. I'm happy to watch it in 1 times also, because we usually just watch them in 1 times. Please vote in the poll if you're here and active. Vote in the poll. I'd be really interested to see what speed you guys typically watch these in. I like 1 times because my brain isn't great, and especially today where I'm struggling to like. I'm just not feeling so hot right now. I'm struggling to take in information so much. 1 times and 1.25 times are very... Well, 60% say 1 times. 1.25 times is 30%. Alright, we'll leave it on 1 for now.
And
You always watch them at 2 times? If I need to watch like instructional or learning videos about things, I'll watch them sped up. But like...
yeah.
I guess with interrogations you can watch it fast, yeah, but... 70% pretty much is saying 1 times.
In them. Really, really disappointed.
I think I missed something. I saw a couple of people in the chat like, ooh, but I don't know what I missed.
Because I had an ironclad alibi of where I was.
An ironclad alibi.
They didn't even check. Didn't even make a phone call. I was very disappointed.
Well, let's go back.
So he's saying he had a stone-clad, like, 100% alibi, and they didn't even call it to find
kind
out.
of walk me through.
Is he just lying? It's probably just lying, right?
Let's go to the day before, because you were going downtown or something. Tell me as much as you can remember about, in as much detail as you can remember.
Oh, you mean about downtown
He
Chicago?
beat the lie detector
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah, that's true.
How did you get downtown?
See, I don't remember.
Not that that means much.
We're talking about many years ago. I know no family member.
Wait, do you guys know, like, back in the day, did lie detectors back in the day have, like, way more respect and, like, were listened to a lot more? Probably, right? I feel like maybe back in the day they were, like, really trusting in lie detectors. I don't know for sure though. Actually, not sure. I typically don't watch much old-fashioned, like not old-fashioned, but like really old true crime cases.
Number was with me, so I don't think anybody drove me there, so I must have taken the train. No.
Now, did you have to purchase your own ticket? Did they give you a ticket?
Don't know. Just don't remember it all. Is it important?
I appreciate the fact that we're talking about, you know.
King Nick.
Well, you're looking at me as a suspect now. I don't like this.
Well, as I told you, there's been some discrepancies in, you know, interviews that we're having, and that's why I'm trying to find out what happened on the day and where you were on the day she disappeared.
I already told you.
Well, but
I spent the entire day in Chicago that day.
McCullough's proposed alibi is that his activities around being enlisted into the military would have excluded him from being able to abduct Maria Rodolphin Sycamore at the time that she went missing. One part of his story is that on December 2nd, he travelled from the town of Rockford, where the military induction centre was located, to Chicago for a medical examination, and he had to stay overnight in Chicago for another examination in the morning on December 3rd, after which he did some sightseeing during the day. Note again that Maria was abducted in the early evening of December 3rd, sometime between 6:30 and 7 p.m.
When you got back in the evening, what did you do? This was a big day. I mean,
I guess that's the scary thing, isn't it? Like, it's now they use lie detectors mostly to see willingness to participate in trying to scare the suspect if they're guilty. I feel like as an innocent person, if I was being interrogated or questioned about something I knew I was innocent about, I would say no to doing a lie detector, and I know that the police would try and use that against me to make me feel like I was guilty. The trouble with that is that the media and the general public, I feel like most people would be like, yeah, they're guilty, 100% they're guilty because they're refusing a lie detector test. It's just all psychological games, really.
This is a
But why would I risk my freedom over some dog shit test that isn't like even accurate? Why would I risk it?
I probably crashed.
Why would you do that?
It was a hard day.
So you think you were home asleep?
I'm assuming.
So why would...
That's what I'm saying. I have such bad anxiety, let alone being in that situation where your anxiety would be through the fucking roof. There's absolutely... like, my anxiety would tell me I was going to fail the test anyway. They'd be like, I'd be innocent, and I'd be like, I'm so anxious, I'm going to fail this because my anxiety is going to tell me... like, my anxiety is going to be like, no, you didn't do that, but oh my god, like, you're going to panic and make it look like you did do that, you know?
People say you weren't there.
Who? What people?
Your sisters?
With the Chris Watts interrogation, they did the lie detector to make him think the investigator knew more so he confessed. I mean, yeah, if it's effective, of course. I'm just...
They don't know.
Oh, they say they do.
They don't know where I was back then.
Yeah, they do.
No.
When we start to look at the story that you tell here, okay, we've done a lot of interviews, there's things that just aren't right, okay?
I'm going to get cozy.
First of all, you had the nickname Johnny, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So the person that was introduced themselves to the girls said he was Johnny, okay? Who knows? Okay. The description of the person matches you down to the gap in the teeth.
Yeah, that's really was surprising.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, but you know, that's what they height, the weight.
See, but that was my neighborhood. Everybody knew me. So if they had seen me on the street, Maria's parents knew me. I used to play with their daughters in the backyard.
See, and that's, you know, the description isn't coming from Maria. It's coming
she was
Kathy.
kidnapped.
Right. It's coming from Kathy, the other girl that was there. So she described somebody who looked remarkably like you and had the gap in the teeth, the same color hair.
See, I didn't hear anything about these descriptions. The only thing I heard was he had a green jacket.
Well, actually, it was a sweater that was the description.
All right, I don't have a green sweater. I had a jacket.
Well, and it wasn't a green sweater. It was a multicolored sweater.
See, it's not me.
Yeah, well, but your family says that you had a multicolored sweater that was just the same description, and that after Maria disappears, that sweater disappears.
Oh, this is bullshit.
You also told the FBI.
Is
you had
that
some sex
seriously
play
his
with your
answer to
sister.
that? This is bullshit. Wait.
Oh my God.
Sorry. What?
Some sex play with your sister.
Oh my God. I took a lie detector test.
We're talking about what you said.
Yeah, right.
Did you have sex with your sister?
And they said, and he said, when was this? I said, when we were little.
Okay. Now your sister says that it wasn't just when you were little.
So?
Well, so what I'm
Yeah, but you
pointing
guys are
out here
saying
is
his body language is so relaxed, but it's actually not. I am not a body language expert, right? I know I'm not. But I do know if you put your hands on your head, it's typically to like open up your lungs so that you can breathe better. So you're either short of breath or you're panicking. Like, you know, if you run really far, you automatically just put your hands on your head to catch your breath because it like opens up your lungs and you can breathe more. This is not like in my eyes, and this might be completely wrong. This is not relaxed. This is like, wait, I'm actually starting to panic and I need to open up my lungs so I can fucking breathe better.
is that if you say you told them the FBI the truth,
Yeah.
But he is still like leaning back and sort of very relaxed otherwise. For sure. Like he's like basically like fucking lying flat. He's like lying like me right now. He's flatter than I am.
you were little, and yet at the same time you're having sex with your sister.
I am not having sex with my sisters.
The indignation McCullough suddenly displays at the suggestion he had sex with his stepsisters speaks to how warped his conception of the parameters of normal behaviour seems to be. In this exchange, it appears as if McCullough is trying to qualify that he only engaged in some sort of limited sex play with his siblings, as opposed to full intercourse, and that it only happened when he was also very young, which given the age gap doesn't actually do much if anything to make the idea any less disturbing. Putting that aside, any remotely well-adjusted person understands that incestuous activity of any kind is extremely noxious and should be expected to express severe offence at the notion they've ever engaged in anything like it.
I'm just telling you what not just one but multiple sisters have said.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my god, chat. If we have time to watch another video, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I hate to come off topic, but that was also just really good. I typically try, you guys know me, I try to never watch any cases that involve any kind of like sexual assault or pedophilia. There's just a boundary for me there that I really don't like crossing. I don't watch those in my free time. I definitely don't want to watch them on stream. I didn't realize that this one did contain those subjects, so I am sorry about that. There is a case that I watched the other day that I'd really like to watch with you guys. It's only like 20-minute long. It's on Coffee House Crime. It was really interesting. It doesn't involve like murder or anything like that.
They also say, well, actually, Dave
Yeah, this
Frederick
person is vile.
says
This person is vile. Literally.
that he saw your car driving in the late afternoon in Sycamore.
So?
A good rule of thumb to keep in mind with Jack McCullough is that whenever he says the word so, it is almost certainly in response to a damning piece of information. The significance of McCullough's car being spotted driving through the neighbourhood at a time he claims he couldn't have been there is self-explanatory, and it's highly doubtful he's as oblivious to this as he's letting on.
Yeah, he's like, the thing about this guy is like when he thinks he's in control and like feeding them bullshit, he acts like so confident and like, I really think he thinks that they're just like gobbling up all the shit he's putting out on the table. But as soon as they actually put anything like with any remote substance behind it to him, he's literally like, bullshit. So, like, what a fucking dumbass. I fucking hate this guy. Like you guys said in the chat, whether this person's done it or not, this person is still a fucking twat.
Your mother also says to Janet and Mary that you killed her, Maria.
This is a lie. This is a lie. My mother loved me to death.
I know she did.
And she was crying when the FBI.
Okay, so sorry, I just want to go back on that because
This is a lie.
So the detective basically says that you confessed to Janet and Mary. Wait, is this...
And she was...
So he gets accused of confessing to those two people, and his instant response is, "That's a lie. My mother loved me to death."
Loved me
You'd be like, "No, I fucking didn't."
to death.
I know she did.
And
No,
she,
I fucking
and
didn't
she,
say that.
And she was crying when the FBI wanted to talk to me.
Because
I
she
have no
cares
doubt.
about you, you fucking disgusting piece of shit.
Because she also told them some lies.
No, I know the mother confessed, chat. I know. But what I'm saying is, instead of him being like, "No, she didn't," he just says, "Oh, she loved me to death."
There we go.
This is a lie. This is a lie. My mother loved me to death.
I know she did.
Oh, I guess he does. It's actually, you know what? He does say this is a lie. This
And
is he does say that. My bad.
and she was crying when the FBI wanted to talk to me.
I have no doubt, because she also told them some lies to the FBI.
My mother doesn't lie.
Well, she said you were home all night.
He's just said now he's saying that his mother doesn't lie.
And the girls sat right there and said, he couldn't be in. We looked, he wasn't home. The doors are all locked. Nobody can get in without us opening the door. And your mother didn't tell the FBI the truth. Now, she may have been protecting you. But
Protecting me by saying I murdered a girl?
I think that's what she was thinking that you did here. And I think
No, this is bullshit. It's all bullshit. My mother wouldn't say that.
your mother did say that.
She didn't.
The other problem is that you're given a ticket by the military to go downtown. Right?
Sure.
Okay. So it doesn't make any sense not to take the ticket.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The problem is that the ticket didn't get used.
This is a key piece of discovery that helped investigators unravel McCullough's alibi. When combing through his past, they interviewed a woman named Jan Edwards, who McCullough was dating at the time of Maria Ridolph's disappearance. They asked Edwards to rifle through any and all mementos she had from the time, just in case something of use materialized. One thing she had in her possession was an old high school photo of John Tessier in a cardboard frame. Concealed within that frame was this train ticket. It is a one-way ticket from Rockford to Chicago, and what caught the attention of investigators is that it was not punched. The reason this is so significant is that if John Tessier did not need a train to travel from Rockford to Chicago, then he must have had access to a different mode of transportation, i.e. his car. And if he had his car on December 3rd, it would make it much more plausible for him to have been able to perform his military-related activities during the day, while still having plenty of time to make it to Sycamore within the window of Maria Ridolph's abduction.
Yeah, I mean, you know how the military is. Here's your ticket to go to Rockford, or to go from Rockford to Chicago. You never used it. You know where this comes from? Jan Edwards. You know how women are sentimental, they keep everything?
Yeah.
She's got a picture of you, and she said, yeah, John gave me this.
That's really funny.
Well, I think it's not funny. I think it questions whether or not you were involved in this.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I'm not involved. You can give me a lie detector test, I'll pass it.
Okay, all right. Why don't...
So annoying. He just keeps going back to that lie detector test. And again, it's another response from him. That's so funny, is what he says when he gets confronted with some actual substantial evidence to dispute his claims.
Why don't we do that right now?
All right.
And that's exactly what they're set to doing. Zaleski goes to get a polygraph set up,
click.
while McCullough bores Agent Henley with...
Yeah, chat. The thing is, I feel like this happens pretty much every time we watch a case. Like, I see you guys saying, oh, you know how women are, and you know how women are, blah, blah, blah. But the trouble is, like, I know it's fucking disgusting to hear it, but I feel like I feel like it is just something they need to do. Like, there's this... I feel like with a lot of these perpetrators, they genuinely have views like that, and I think it is just, like, them trying to bridge the gap and, like, make them feel confident and comfortable. Like, if someone has those views and then the detectives, if someone has those views and then other people in the room are openly like speaking out loud and portraying the same views, you're going to feel naturally more comfortable. And like if this person does hate women, which sadly is a thing that happens, then obviously, you know, he's going to feel more comfortable if the detectives in the room are like, oh, you know what women are like, or whatever, you know. It's obviously some dumbass shit, but they need to do that dumbass shit to get dumbasses to confess. So I know it's really horrible to hear, and it's really sad, but it's just, you know. Misha, thank you so much for the 4 months. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back for another month. Yeah, you got to make them, exactly, they're not, everyone knows, if someone's defensive, they're just going to shut down. They're going to be a barrier, and you're not going to be able to get through it because they'll just completely put that guard up and defend themselves. If someone feels comfortable and confident, well, if someone feels at least comfortable, they're going to be much more likely to be honest and open, you know. Didi Seto, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Nev. That's so kind. I really appreciate it. It's something I spoke about when we watched True Crime last time as well. I remember when I first became vegan and I was like so like horrified by the things I'd learned about, you know, the way they treat animals, the things they do to animals, and like the environment and blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to like speak to my family and friends about it. I was like, oh my God, like these things I've learned are so horrific. But you very quickly learn that if you, the way you approach something and the way you speak to people about things like this, especially like something like someone's dietary habits, which is something so habitual and something that's so important in their life and they get a lot of comfort from, you know, there's a certain way to speak about these topics. And if you make someone put their guard up and get defensive about something, or make them feel like they've done something wrong, or yes, basically make someone feel like they're in the wrong, they're going to shut down. They're going to be defensive. They'll probably be quite arrogant. They won't want to listen to you. You won't make any progress with them. You won't have an open, intellectual, interesting conversation. It will quite literally just turn into an argument, or it'll be nothing. It's just like a pointless conversation and a waste of time for everyone in the room. So yeah, just going back to that, like, it's shit to hear a detective be like, oh, you know what women are like. But, you know, there is sadly good reason for it, because the people, they're interviewing people who are fucking dog shit with dog shit views on life, dog shit views on people and humans, so they have to act like that. And I'm not saying detectives aren't sometimes dog shit people themselves, but with dog shit views, but you know.
With tips about the weird kid from the neighborhood who was purported to like talking about sex.
He was weird. And
How do you know that?
this kid told me, and I observed.
Okay. So you don't know that firsthand that he's weird? Like, what's weird?
Okay. Not normal.
Regular viewers of this channel will know that we don't take polygraphs seriously around here. But just because the device is useless insofar as being a lie detector doesn't mean people's behavior when sitting...
I'm so sorry. I just want to clarify, I'm sat here giggling to myself. And it's nothing to do with the video that's in front of me, and I know that looks highly, highly inappropriate, so I'm going to apologize for that. I just said to Steve, don't fill that spot, can you please confirm it's mine? And I did say, can you please confirm it's mine? Sexy, I'll be honest, I did say that. And he put in all capitals, it's yours. And I replied, I wish that message meant something else, lol, kiss. So, I shouldn't be telling you this, I shouldn't just leak all my DMs with people on stream, but I quite often do that. But I just wanted to clarify that I'm not sat here laughing at anything I'm seeing on the video.
Sitting next to it isn't sometimes interesting to observe, and Jack McCullough is a very good example of this.
This is the second polygraph I've taken on this. First one was by the FBI, and I passed it.
When was that?
It was in 1957, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm going to pass this one as well, as long as you stay on the subject of the little girl and her murder.
Well, quite frankly, Jack, there's some questions
I know there's some questions you have to
ask you.
for verification. I understand why.
Well, actually, I'm going to ask you some questions about the details of your personal life.
Man really thinks the polygraph is doing something. I know, but it's really annoying because obviously this person was interviewed and interrogated and whatever else back in the day when he was, I guess, maybe the prime suspect. And because he passed that polygraph test, he kind of got left alone. And so obviously, I guess he's going to grip onto that and be like, I passed this test. And that's his ticket to freedom in his eyes. So I guess he's going to just keep going on and on and on about it. I've never seen those two emotes, Koji Lip Bite and Steven Suptic Face of Debt emote next to each other, and it's quite horrifying how similar those two look. It's quite horrifying.
Then I'm going to stop answering.
This is a point of contention that will colour the entirety of McCullough's polygraph exam. His stance is that he's happy to submit to a polygraph, but only on the condition that the only questions he's asked are those pertaining to the abduction of Maria Ridolph. So questions pertaining to anything else, like incestuous experimentation in childhood for instance, are out of bounds. The problem with this from a polygrapher's perspective is that this is as good as not being willing to take a test at all, as the test is supposed to work by gauging your reactions to uncomfortable questions that are not related to what you're being investigated for, and comparing those to your reactions to questions that are.
Well, just hear me out, okay?
Right.
Really, we're not so much interested in that, but I need to ask you some detailed personal things about your life. Some of it can be pretty sensitive, but I need them in order to structure your question. It really is in your best benefit to answer them in order for this thing to work.
I understand you have to make a verification, and you have to set your machine up. I understand. But you've read me my rights, and my rights are I don't have to say anything if I don't want to.
Right.
And so if I don't answer you...
But it's not going to be pertaining to what you're allegedly accused of.
Goth boy, click.
I'm going to ask you some questions about your personal history and so on and so forth. That
Inkweaver, thank you so much for the 7 months. It says 7 months giving money to the man who adds extra happiness and sunshine to my life. Thank you so much for everything you do. Chat, can we get some love in the chat, please? That's really sweet. Thank you, Inkweaver. I really appreciate it. I'm feeling, I guess because I'm feeling a little bit run down, I'm feeling extra emotional, which I definitely don't need in life. I'm a very emotional person as it is. I don't think I need to feel any more extra emotional, but I am. That's a very sweet message. Thank you very much. And thank you for the love in the chat. See, this is what I always like, is to take a little break like this, because it just makes me smile again, and it's just like a nice little relief. Let's go. Let's get back into it. I'm not going to cry. I promise, chat. I'm not going to cry. I actually did. I just remembered. I actually had a dream last night that I cried on stream. I don't know why I cried on stream, but I remember that I had a dream last night I cried on stream. Huh.
You know, I mean, that are a little bit sensitive.
Huh, so weird.
We're done.
Well, why don't we just go ahead with the interview and see if you don't like them.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
And what is this
because chat is so hot. Why would chat being hot make me cry on stream?
Name?
Maria Ridolph.
Okay.
And she was a lovely little girl. She was a little Mexican girl about this high.
Was the last name like, what did you say?
Ridolph.
Okay.
It was, I think,
described her as a lovely little girl.
Oh, so she was biracial.
Yeah.
They make the most beautiful kids.
Oh man, she was just an adorable little girl. Great big brown eyes, and everybody in the neighborhood loved her.
The polygraph technician, Irene Lau, would later say that whenever McCullough talked about Maria, he exhibited a degree of affection that seemed off, and this was a specific moment she cited. It's not abnormal to remark about a child being adorable, but when McCullough talks about Maria's big brown eyes, the body language he exhibits is reminiscent of someone going into some kind of trance-like state.
So basically...
Yeah, this is fucking bizarre.
You're telling me that you have absolutely no knowledge of this.
Absolutely.
You have no knowledge about Maria's abduction?
You do.
I have no knowledge of her abduction other than what I was told.
You did not stop and talk and play with Maria?
Oh no! She was a child.
Or Kathy?
No.
Well, so what?
No.
You know, and kids play with other kids.
Yeah. I was 17 years old. She was just talking.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
What does that say? Control question. Not relevant to crime in question, but likely to elicit some discomfort.
20.
20? Wow.
Yep.
Who with?
With an older woman down in South Carolina after I joined the Air Force.
Have you ever had sex with a male?
I haven't had sex with a male.
Have you had sexual contact with a male?
We're done with that.
I take that as an
Go take any way you want. We're done.
with that particular question.
Yes.
Okay. Why? I mean, you're really sensitive about
What's it got to do with the little girl?
I'm trying to ask questions to help structure your test. It has no bearing on crimes, this, that, or the other thing. I'm trying to help you as best I can.
You're not helping me.
You ever been arrested before?
No.
You been in trouble with the law before?
I had one problem with the law.
Turn the light. Oh, I just dribbled a nut. Oh god, that made me jump. I was like, in a trance watching this. I was just really wondering why he was so against answering that question. I was like in deep thought about it. Honestly, I was like, why would he be so against answering that question? Inkweaver, thank you so much for the £2.18. Says, I just wanted to let you know that your streams quite literally saved my life, and your existence is so impactful and so important to many people. If you're ever feeling down or yucky, remember how good you do. I'm not going to get emotional today, but I really appreciate that message. That's so fucking sweet. I do most definitely have a lump in my throat, but I'm gonna swallow it. I'm gonna drink some water. Inkweaver, thank you so much for your donation and your lovely message. I really appreciate it, and I'd like to say that I'll be as consistent with streaming as I possibly can, and just remember that everyone in chat and the community is also here for you. And we also have a Discord where if you guys would like to join, you can speak to people when I'm not streaming and stuff, and we have a true crime section in there. We have all kinds of stuff going on, so please don't ever feel like you're alone, because there's always someone in this community that's down to talk and hang out. Yeah, I love you guys. Let's get back into it. We're over halfway through.
Next question.
I'm not crying today, chat. I'm not crying today.
Tell me.
You will not be able to make me cry today. I promise you that. I will fight every bear. There's nothing wrong with crying, don't get me wrong, but I'll fight every bear of my bone of my being. Bear of my being? Every bone in my being? What is that saying? What is that saying? I will fight every bone in my being? Go against every bone in one's body. What the fuck is the saying? I have no brain today. Every fiber of your being? I will fight every fiber of my being. That's not what I was trying to say. I know that's a thing. I'll fight every bone in my body. I will fight every bone in my body. Saying. With every bone in my body is a common phrase meaning with all one's being, with
Golf
all one's
boy,
efforts.
click.
Okay, so I think chat, Koji and chat sharing one brain cell. It's because I'm blaming this on feeling run down today. But yeah, I think I was confusing the bone in my body and fiber in my being sayings. I kind of like combined them both. But it is a saying, chat. I'm not going crazy. It's on Google. It's a saying. Okay, it's confirmed by Google. Sparkles, thank you so much for the 10 months. Says, hey Koji, hi Sparkles. I hope you've had a great week. What's up? Holy shit, chat. Not today, Miles. Not today. Not today. Thank you so much for the 25 gifted subs. That's huge. I just hit the daily goal of 50 subs today. Please, can we get some Miles love in the chat? If you're not aware, My Big Bunda is also aka Miles, also known as Miles. I love that everyone just knows My Big Bunda is Miles and starts spamming Miles in the chat. You've just hit 1,090 gifted subs in the stream. That's fucking insane. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. I know we're not watching the video right now. I know it's sat there paused, and I'm very sorry about that. Miles with the Big Bunda, thank you so much for the 25 gifted subs and getting the daily goal to 50 today. I really appreciate that. But not today, Miles. I am an emotional wreck. I've streamed for a year and a half. I've never streamed in a blankie before. I was feeling so desperate for comfort that I started my stream with a cup of tea and a blankie. I'm fucking down bad. I'm down sad right now. So, Miles, whilst I really appreciate the 25 gifted, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you got gifted a sub, please remember to say thank you to My Big Bunda if you got gifted a sub. Or if someone else gifted you a sub, please remember to say thank you. Thank you so much. But not today. Not today, Miles. I will fucking cry. And I just literally minutes ago told stream that I'm not going to cry today. I literally just was saying that. I don't want to cry today. I want to cry alone right now. Any little Pete fans in the chat? There better be one little Pete fan in the chat right now or I'll fucking flip. Gamba, question mark? I don't gamba. Book. Bonus. Alright, back into the video. I dare you to cry, you idiot. No, thanks.
You think I'm gonna tell these guys?
Yes.
Why would I do that? There's no bearing on this case.
Very good, then move on.
Come on, I need to do the structure
You don't need to do this. Next question.
I love
Have
little
you
Pete.
committed any crimes that you haven't been caught for?
No.
Then we shouldn't have any problems with the other question, right?
Yeah.
So just, sorry, if anyone's just joining the stream or is just, if in case anyone needs to catch up, they're currently, alright, let's just go right from the beginning. This person has been accused of kidnapping a young child, literally like 2 little girls playing out on the street. One of them went inside to go and get some mittens, came back out, while the other girl was being on a piggyback with a male, and when the little girl came back out, her friend and the guy that was giving her a piggyback had both gone. This guy passed a lie detector test all the way back in the day and is now doing another one in the future. He's basically refused to answer some questions, like he refused to answer whether he had had sexual relations with another man, even though he was just answering. Like, he's just being really, really odd, and he's like refusing to answer some questions and stuff. So he was just.
Question.
So you don't want to answer that question, even though it's the same as the other.
Doesn't
This
matter.
man is stinky, I just know it. Yeah, 100% this guy fucking stinks. You know what that mustache smells of? Like, I don't want to be mean, right? But I'm gonna be. That mustache smells of gone off milk. Honestly. You know, if like, you know the smell of cow's milk gone bad? That's reeking out of that mustache right now. And he's sniffing that up all day long. Anonymous! Just gifted 5 subs. I don't know who you are, sweet, kind stranger. Sweet angel, sweet, kind angel stranger. But thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs to the Anonymous. I don't know who the Anonymous gifter was, but can we get loads of love in the chat, please? That's such a good way to describe him. Yeah, literally. Imagine you find a half-used carton of milk that's been in the fridge for 2.5 years. No, it's been in a warm room for 2.5 years. And it's been trapped in that bottle. And you open the lid and you smell it. You smell that, like, pungent smell that's been trapped in a bottle for 2.5 years of gone-off cow's milk. That's what this guy smells like. I also think he might smell like piss, but that's just my opinion. And obviously that's just my opinion. Thank you, Anonymous, for the 5 gifted subs. I have no idea who you are, but that's so kind. Thank you.
I want to answer that question, even though it's the same as the other.
Doesn't matter. I have a right to not
Koji,
answer
please, I was
questions.
eating. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I won't do that again. I won't do that again. But that is what this person smells like.
Bring that question. We're trying to solve a murder.
That's right, we are.
Yes, we are.
I'm not
Sorry, chat.
asking
I'm a
you
very
these
descriptive
questions for
person.
a
Hey,
while.
what can I say? I come from a creative background, all right? This is my talent of telling you what people smell like when I look at them.
You tell me yes or no and tell me truthfully. I won't go any farther than that. Can you answer truthfully, yes or no, you've never committed a crime that you haven't been caught before?
Correct.
Yes or no?
Yes or no what? What's the question?
Have you ever committed a crime that you haven't been caught for?
No. If I haven't committed a crime, I haven't been caught. I have never committed a crime.
Sorry, what are you struggling to understand here, sir? Have you ever committed a crime you haven't been caught for? Why are you refusing to answer it and repeating it to yourself multiple times? That is not an unclear worded question.
Have you ever...
Let's watch this again.
No, you've never committed a crime that you haven't been caught before.
Oh.
Correct.
Yes or no?
Correct, I have. Correct.
Yes or no what? What's the question?
Have you ever committed a crime that you haven't been caught
He's
for?
literally nodding, and I know, I don't think that's always a telltale sign, but he is literally sat there like that. No. No. Chat, I will not cry today on stream.
I haven't been caught. I have never committed a crime. I haven't been caught.
Yes or no?
I answered your question.
That's how I'm going to ask it. You cannot answer it like that. It's going to be yes or
No.
I can't. What is a yes or no answer? Yes what? What does yes mean? Yes means
So
I've
you're
committed-
saying yes, you have committed
No.
a crime?
I said, what does yes mean?
He's
I
trying to
answered the question.
he's trying to like muddy the waters, isn't he? He's like mudding up the waters so that like this answer will be like not applicable. He's like trying to muddy up the waters. What does yes mean? What does no mean? What did it mean if I answered yes?
Because McCullough makes it clear he will not engage with control questions, in addition to being reticent to providing straight yes or no answers that the polygraph requires, it's quite clear that whatever chart his exam yields will be even more useless than a standard polygraph test, if such a thing is even possible. Regardless, Agent Lau eventually attempts to conduct an exam in earnest.
Is your correct name Jack McCullough?
It is.
Yes or no? Only, please.
Yes.
Okay. Do you intend to...
Chat. Look, if I fall asleep on stream, I'm really sorry. Like, a huge part of me just like really wants to be laid flat in bed right now. You know, like, the more cozy and the more I lie down, the more I'm just like, I don't think I've probably ever sat like, I've done 16-hour streams. And I don't think I've ever sat like this on stream before. And I'm just noticing that I'm getting cozier and comfier by the minute. No, I'm not going to bed. I appreciate you guys, but I'm not, because I really want to play Phasmophobia with the boys in like an hour.
answer all of my questions truthfully?
Well, I intend to answer questions truthfully. Maybe not all.
But I do want to watch another video after this one if we have time.
I need a yes or no.
No.
So you are not going to answer all my questions truthfully?
Reading my rights again.
Why would he even like agree to do this lie detector test again if he's just gonna like not answer any of the questions? It's so fucking pointless. He's just being a dick.
If you ask a question I don't want to answer, you're not going to get an answer.
But just hear me out. Just listen to the questions first, okay, before you start objecting. Okay? Do you intend to answer all of my questions truthfully?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you born in Belfast?
Yes.
Are you hoping I will make a mistake on this test?
No.
What is 3 plus 3 minus 2?
4.
Okay, don't say just give me one word response, okay? Have you taken any drugs, alcohol? Let me finish reading the question. Okay?
All right.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol?
Every time he laughs, it really fucking annoys me. I don't know what it is. I'm going to feel really bad if he's innocent all this time, but he's... No, actually, you know what? I'm not going to feel bad, because no matter what, this guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Or medication you haven't told me about.
No.
Are you planning to try to manipulate this test?
No.
Have you researched any information about polygraph before coming here today?
No.
I have a set of
That's
test
a
questions.
lie.
I'm only going to ask you once, okay? But I won't go by nearly as fast as I just read it. Because after every question, I'm going to wait for a certain amount of time to elapse to chart your reactions. Regarding whether or not you killed Maria on December 3rd, 1957, Do you intend to answer truthfully each question about that?
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Did you kill Maria?
No.
Let me finish reading the question.
All right, son.
Did you kill Maria on December 3rd, 1957? And when I say kill Maria, that includes everything that went into this thing.
I love Maria. I would not kill her.
The abduction, the sexual assault, the taking her away from that area, discarding her body.
Go ahead. I'm good for it.
That's what it covers.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? You understand that?
Finally.
Okay. So I'll ask you again, did you kill Maria on December 3rd, 1957?
No.
With all the things that it entails?
Correct.
Abducting her, dumping her body, sexually assaulting her, and killing her?
No.
Okay. On December 3rd, 1957, did you kill Maria?
No.
In the first 30 years of your life, do you remember ever having sexual contact with her?
Oh, just to clarify, yeah, he did say, I loved Maria. I know the subtitles are really, like, quite often wrong on the YouTube videos. He definitely said, I loved Maria.
Your sisters?
Sorry, what was that question? Do you ever remember?
Do you remember kill Maria?
No.
In the first 30 years of your life, do you remember ever having sexual contact with your sisters? And that means fondling, kissing, rubbing, penetration of any kind, whether it's digital or with your
I'm
penis.
not going to answer that question.
Why not?
It's none of your business, and it has nothing to do with Maria.
It does.
It doesn't.
It does.
Sorry.
Without the ability to gauge McCullough's reaction to control questions, his responses to the relevant questions will not be analysable, and so the polygraph is aborted and Jack McCullough is taken back to the interrogation room.
So that didn't go too good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Are you guys going to arrest me?
Quite honestly, I haven't made a decision yet because I've got some issues with this that I can't resolve without you.
Okay.
And so, what I wanted to do was, have you again kind of think through because, again, I appreciate the fact that we're talking a long time ago, okay? And, if we can come up with, alternatives.
Okay, you haven't got shit or the FBI would have arrested me. I'm done talking to you.
Well, that makes my evening short then,
Yep,
doesn't it?
yep.
Okay. Well, is he free to go?
No.
Okay.
Did you say no?
I said no.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, is he free to go?
It's amazing how much he is in shock by this. Please chat, watch with me, right? Watch his reaction when he realizes what's happening and the way that when they both stand up, watch him look up at them. It's so good.
No.
Okay. So,
he's like frozen in time, like, what the fuck's happening? I'm not free to go, and then they both stand up at the same time. Watch him.
Did you say no?
I said no.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, sorry, one more time.
Yep.
okay. Well, is he free to go?
No.
Okay. So,
Did you say no?
I said no.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you do any research on me after you found out who I was?
I don't know who you are.
Goth boy, click.
You know who I am.
I know.
Credit me 7. What's up, baby boy? How you doing? Thank you for the 6 months.
I know you're Mike Szczynski.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like a child being told off at school or something, It was like, I don't know how to explain it. He just looks like a child being told off.
Okay.
He's just so like shocked.
Did you do any research on me after you found out who I was?
I don't know who you are.
You know who I am.
I know you're Mike Szczynski.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I know.
No, I'm a cold case detective, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Detective Mike Szynski spends some time questioning McCall.
It must be so hard to be a cold case detective, like your entire career is based on trying to solve crimes that couldn't have been solved in the past. I know there's like amazing breakthroughs, like technology wise, like scientifically wise and stuff like that, but in terms of like trying to solve cold cases other than that, what like a frustrating job. I guess the delayed gratification of solving a very long cold case would be absolutely amazing. Like, it's probably not many better feelings in the world than finally delivering some kind of justice and like answers to people. But fucking hell, it must be a really hard job, like, majority of the time.
Collar, who again insists that he will not discuss anything that is not directly related to Maria Ridolf's abduction, and also continues to push the weird sex talk kid lead.
You gotta realize, you know...
Credit me! You don't have to gift any subs. I appreciate it, though. Thank you, mate. I hope you're good. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Can we get some love in the chat, please? You really don't need to do that. You gifted 55 subs to the channel. That's crazy. Back in the day. Thank you.
You know, you're kind of like in a world of shit right now, okay? And you're going to have to give up the truth, okay? To save your own ass, to be smart, okay? So just listen to me. That's all I'm asking, all right? There's certain things that happen here that I know happened, you know happened here. Once again, I'm not saying, from reviewing this file, I'm not saying here that you killed that girl. Okay?
I did not.
I'm not saying you did, okay?
That's what I'm investigating for, right?
That's exactly what you're being investigated for.
All right.
Okay? I really think that one of the problems with what happened here is I believe, from reading all the reports that I did, from the interview of that other little girl who was there, okay?
What other girl?
There was 2 girls there.
I don't know anything about a second girl.
Okay, yeah, well, there were 2 girls out there. There were 2 girls out there, and they were playing out there when I believe that you came up there.
Wait, I swear he's spoken about this before and did know that there was 2 girls there. I'm really confused. Did he not? I feel like he did. Credit me. You don't need to do that. I don't know why you've gifted another sub, but thank you very much. I appreciate it, but you don't need to do that. But thank you. Flying Pichu is my name. Thank you so much for the gifted sub as well. Gifted a tier 1 sub to Kai is tired. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. And chat, thank you for the love in the chat. You guys are the best. I love you. I hope I don't start losing. When I woke up this morning, I could like barely speak out my throat. I'm really hoping that throughout the stream I don't lose my voice. I think we're good. I think it's gonna stay.
And then you're gonna ask me the questions. And once again, I'm not saying that you killed anybody. You understand?
Thank you for the gifted subs.
Okay.
And thank you for saying thank you for the gifted subs as well. I see ya. Nothing makes me happier than seeing people say thank you for their gifted subs.
Anyway, yeah, there was another girl there also. And that you probably did. Maybe I'll refresh your memory.
Was she kidnapped too?
No, she wasn't.
How old is she?
She was the same age.
Now he's pretending he doesn't know whether both of them were kidnapped or not. Let's just go back a little bit, sorry, because I feel like I've been pausing and talking over this a lot. But
so anyway, yeah, there was another girl there also. And that you probably did. Maybe I'll refresh your memory.
Was she kidnapped too?
No, she wasn't.
How old is she?
She was the same age. They were best friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, best friends.
Okay.
And she's still alive today. And actually, I think you met the 2 detectives that were here. Actually, another detective.
Yeah.
They interviewed her.
Yeah.
Okay.
wait, so sorry. What's really interesting, I guess, is that so obviously there's the young girl that didn't get taken away, that went inside and came back out, and her friend was gone. Why have they not at any point done like one of those, you know, like a police lineup, or like got her to ruffle? Like, I know they've got the description. She gave a description which like perfectly matched this guy. I'm kind of curious as to why didn't they just I'm really curious why didn't they just get her to, like, even through like obviously tinted glass or something, like a mirror. I think they did that in 1957. Oh, really? And also, Flying Pichu said that they were passing on, they got gifted a sub, so passing on the goodwill. You love to see it. That's so wholesome. Thank you. Is my donate button on Twitch not working? Mate, your donate button is not working. I'm with Aisha's little brother, and I was speaking about you, and he was like, no way you know Koji. I'm a loser. Hey, who is it? Aisha's little brother. Hi, Aisha's little brother. I'm Koji. I'm just a loser that sits at home all the time and plays video games. Yeah. Hi, nice to meet you.
Okay. And once again, I'm saying this is where I believe that you're hiding something. Okay? And I'll tell you why I think you're hiding something.
I'm going to tell you you're wrong right now.
Okay, well, you better hear what I say first before you say I'm wrong, okay? What I believe kind of happened
Wait,
here
no,
is I
the
believe
donate
that
button is working because we've had a donation today, right? Inkweaver donated today.
you did go out there. And
Did not.
Oh, that's fine. Just let me, then you can answer my questions.
They mentioned early in the video that they reviewed and dismissed a long list of subjects. McCullough, sorry, I know it's been said in this video many times and I still can't pronounce it, had already been dismissed based on his successful polygraph in 57.
So these two girls were out there, and they knew that the guy, and they knew as Johnny. And Johnny said that he was very nice to the girl. He knew Maria, and he offered them a piggyback ride. And I believe that what happened is that that person was you. And
Oh my God!
And they did give you a piggyback ride, but I didn't say. But that girl didn't say you killed her. You understand that?
McCullough again argues he has a rock-solid alibi, and Szynski continues to probe for specifics that can be offered, as well as trying to get McCullough to engage in further discussion of his relationship with his family.
Your mom, who's deceased now.
Yeah.
Okay. You're real tight with her.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Like you were from once
I
again.
called my mom every month of my life. I loved my mom to death, and my mom was brilliant. When she died, my dad was asked, "How many people do you think are going to come to the funeral?" And Dad says, "Oh, maybe 30 to 40." 350 people showed up.
Did you show up?
No, I was in the service.
They wouldn't let you get home from military leave?
It's very weird how, like, it's so weird the way this guy speaks about, A, Maria, obviously the young victim this whole video is really about, and B, whenever his mum is mentioned. It's like the way he acts is so bizarre when those two specific people are mentioned.
Were you in Vietnam then?
I don't remember where I was.
Because Eileen Tissier passed in 1994, it's safe to say that McCullough was not stationed in Vietnam. His sisters have been clear that they explicitly told him he was not welcome at the funeral.
Now,
I wonder what that body language means. You see how he was like sat on both his hands? I have no idea. I don't think I've ever watched an interrogation video before where they say like, I noticed at one point just literally seconds ago, he was actually sat on both his hands like this. I don't know if anyone in the chat has any idea what this particular body language means, but it's got to be something, right? I mean, I know what this is. This is like really defensive, closed off body language, but
Was not stationed in Vietnam. His sisters have
the
been
hands on the
clear
head,
that they explicitly.
but then like pins them. Yeah, he like pins
McCullough was
them
not
underneath.
stationed in Vietnam. His sisters have
He
been
starts
clear
moving a lot. He starts moving a hell of a lot, fidgeting out of his chair, which, I don't know, maybe he's just uncomfortable. I do that a lot on stream, or maybe he wants to leave the room. I'm not sure. And then the hands are pinned under the thighs. Could just be cold hands. Indication of nervousness and lying. It's so you don't fidget. It's a self-soothing behavior, insecurity. Interesting. Sit like that when I'm nervous or uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know if I ever do this. I feel like I probably do when I'm anxious, yeah. Especially if I have sweaty palms, yeah.
Explicitly told him he was not welcome at the funeral.
Now, I told you there was two little girls there. One girl got killed, and the other little girl. She said the person who came there, who said his name was Johnny, who lived nearby, and gave him a piggyback ride. They said he was very nice.
Oh, but chat, there's nothing wrong with sitting like that. It's just in this scenario, you know, like I was wondering why. But now that you're saying it, I think when my palms are sweaty, especially if I'm out in public and I'm really uncomfortable or nervous, like maybe waiting for a job interview or something, I feel like I have sat like that quite a lot, yeah.
And they said he was one of these guys here, and her name's, and she signed her name on the bottom of that photograph. Can you picture anybody out here that you know in this photograph?
I don't know any of these guys, and I don't think any of these guys are from Sycamore.
The photo third from the left is the man that Kathy Sigmund positively identified as Johnny. It is John Tessier. Jack McCullough has just claimed to not be able to recognize a photo of himself
I was gonna say, is like, this is literally a picture of him. Why is he saying, is Twitch lagging today, chat? That's not the first person I've seen say that Twitch is lagging today. I've seen a couple. I've only seen a couple, but I've seen a couple of people say that in chat. I've not dropped any frames on my end, so I know if it's not me, it might be a Twitch issue. Why is he saying he doesn't recognize himself? That's really fucking weird. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. He definitely recognizes himself. I don't have any issues, not lagging for me. I know, like, Twitch servers can be really weird, like, depending on where you are. Like, I know that EU can sometimes be absolutely fine, and then, like, NA Twitch can just be fucked.
Goth boy, click.
Beefrind, thank you so much for the 3 months. Says feel better. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Just take a look at every picture and turn it over to definitely start with one and just look at it and just.
No. 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 These guys aren't from Sycamore.
Okay. Everything else the guy looks like.
We are watching a man right now pretend to not recognize a picture of himself. And I just in case you guys weren't paying attention or missed that, I'm just gonna go back really quickly because, like, look at this. The body language here is really interesting. He's like doing everything to act like he's really looking at all these 3 pictures, but refuses to kind of come to this end of the table and near the picture of himself. This is really interesting.
John Tessier. Jack McCullough has just claimed to not be able to...
Does he think the detective doesn't know it's him? I honestly don't have a fucking clue.
Recognize.
Just woke up from a nap. Can I get 5 gifted subs for Koji?
A photo of...
Was that what your dream was about? Is that your one wish of the day? That your sweet angel streamer gets 5 gifted subs?
Himself.
After your nappy? Oh my god! Okay, no more Snaily. Alright, chat, I need you guys to say, okay, no more Snaily, because Snaily is not behaving. Snaily, you've been gifting way too many subs recently. You gifted 170 to the channel. You've already gifted 5 today. Snaily is an angel. Facts. But we're gonna have to cancel Snaily. Okay, no more Snaily in the chat, please. Okay, no more Snaily. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's so kind. But no more Snaily. Spoil yourself, please. Get yourself something really nice. Spoil yourself this weekend. Thank you.
I'll just take a look at every picture and turn it over to definitely start with one and just look at it and just.
Yes, look at this behavior. It's so bizarre. He's like really paying attention to these 3 pictures. Then there's the picture of himself here, and then obviously 2 other people that aren't him. And he's just like refusing to come up to this side of the table. Casey! Thank you so much for the gifted sub as well. Can we get some love in the chat, please? You've gifted 28. Hey, they changed the text. It says they've gifted 28 months in the channel. Wait, did they change the message? Wait, so they've gifted 170 in the channel for Snaily. And then on this one, it says... Where is it? They've gifted 28 months in the channel. What? That message is different. That's so weird. Thank you so much, Casey, for the gifted sub. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great week so far.
No. No.
Oh, it's because they donoed 3 months? Wait! Sorry, I'm sat so far away from my screen, I didn't even... Casey gifted 3 months of tier 1 subscription to Gerpgork 1227. You gifted 3 months of subscription, Casey? That's so wholesome. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I did not see that. Wow, I need to pay more attention. How did I notice the months bit and not the 3 months bit? I'm the worst. Thank you so much. This community is so positive. First time watching coming from DK's community. DK has a very positive community too, though. DK has a very sweet, positive community. Koji can't read revenge. True. True.
These guys aren't from Sycamore.
So yeah, sorry, going back to that. So then he after like avoiding his picture entirely, he like touches his photo for a second before almost jumping away from it. Yeah.
These guys aren't from Sycamore.
And then to look at those ones.
Okay. Everything else the guy looks like.
DD Seta, thank you so much for the gifted sub. This video, sorry, I just want to clarify. This video is not paused. He is just sat in silence staring at a picture of himself, pretending he doesn't recognize the person in it. DD, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I really appreciate it. Koji's chat is just 80% hearts. Honestly, Koji's chat is only 80% hearts on the day. At very specific times. It is, no, sorry. The video is paused now, but building up to this, it wasn't. Look, this is what I'm talking about. Look how long this is, but I just rewinded. Look. I did pause it, yeah, but it wasn't paused. Look. He's just staring at a picture of himself, pretending he doesn't recognize the person. As if this detective doesn't know that's a picture of him. This isn't paused. Still not paused.
Don't know.
I'm stumped. Don't know who that is.
What looks like?
He might look like me, but he's too feminine looking.
That's me from a wedding picture. Obviously that's Xerox.
Hmm?
It's a Xerox picture.
Of all the things you could say, does look like me, but a bit feminine looking. This guy is like everything I fucking hate. Everything.
It's a little whited out right there. That's you from a wedding picture that was put into this montage that the girl said was Johnny that gave the girl the piggyback.
Yeah, chat, please feel free to patoo everywhere, please.
Once again, she didn't say you killed him, but that's what they're saying. Number 2, listen to this part. Number 2, okay? Jack, look at me. Number 2, okay? You know why this other case?
That's so weird how he had to, like, get his attention there to, like, bring him back into the room. Like, Jack, look at me. Crazy. Either this man is a sociopath or he is, like, super disassociated from this. I don't know exactly I don't know exactly when this interview is, but we're talking about, like, a huge gap between this crime happening and this interview happening. And humans have a terrifying ability to lie to ourselves to the point that we can lie to ourselves so much that we'll start to believe a lie. Humans have this incredible ability. We also have something called cognitive dissonance, where, yeah, we can just quite literally lie to ourselves, and even if we know we're lying to ourselves, we'll kind of slowly accept the lie and just act like everything's fine and nothing's happening. It's a terrifying ability that humans have, cognitive dissonance. I remember learning about it the first time and I was like, this is crazy. This is scary. But maybe it helps us with some things, but it's also terrifying in other scenarios. So this person right here might quite literally believe at this point that they didn't do it, and now they're having like a shock because they're like, wait, I did do this.
That's what they're saying. Number 2, listen to this part. Number 2, okay? Jack, look at me. Number 2.
I'm not using big words, chat, and definitely not on a day like today. I think that bit's so weird there, where it's like, Jack, look at me.
Okay. Jack, look at me.
Just
Number 2. Okay.
It's like, wake up, and then he like snaps back into the room.
Other case got other information we received. This is all documented. This other information that we received. Know who said that? Know who told us that you did this? Someone who I think is from all the information I read, is a very smart person, a very intelligent person.
Oh, he's complimenting him now.
Lived with a bunch of guilt for.
It's like when DK does a really good kill on Among Us, and he starts saying, "Oh, this person that did this must have been so good," because he probably felt guilty about the Among Us kill, but he was also complimenting himself.
A long time before she passed away.
Yeah, you're going to say my mom, that's bullshit.
Well, why do you say it's bullshit?
Because she wouldn't suspect me of murder, and she knew where I was.
I'm telling exactly. I'll show you the documentation that said that she said that you're the one who did this, and that she said she was ashamed of it. And getting back to this is that other little girl who said, this is her signature right down here. Once again, this is Xerox. I said, now Jack, once again, I still think you're covering for somebody. I think somebody did something there. I think you were there when not when the girl got killed.
And this is really interesting because I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. I'm sure you guys probably already know this, but like here he's using this attempt of like lessening it. So he's like, I'm sure you know something. You're probably covering for someone else that did something really bad, to kind of like give him an opportunity to feel like he can wiggle his way out of this by giving some information about someone else, or, you know, stuff like that.
You were there.
He's
when
still
the
sat
girl
on his
got
hands
all
though,
that
yeah.
feedback, right? I'm not saying you took the girl and killed. I'm saying you were there, and then you walked off, or somebody else came up there, and you remembered this, and you're trying to hide this or cover for somebody, and you know, I don't know who you're trying to cover for. If it's one of these other
I'm not
guys,
covering
I don't
for
know.
anybody, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever else you might want to say about Jack McCullough, he is not a stupid man, and he never comes close to embracing the alternative question Detective Szynski attempts to put in front of him, of being responsible for Maria Ridolph's piggyback ride, but not her abduction and murder. Over the course of the next half hour, Detective Szynski continues to confront McCullough with Sigmund's positive identification, his history of sex abuse allegations, his unused train ticket, and his mother's deathbed confession. But this mounting pile of circumstantial evidence will not prove to be enough for him to relent and offer a confession. It was, however, plenty.
Kelly! Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Kelly. Thank you, thank you. I hope you've had a great week. Thank you. Kelly proving my point. What point is being proven, chat? Fill me in. Koji, get you some tea with honey. I am definitely going to get myself... Hi, Twitchograph. Hello. I hope you're good. I'm going to get a nice hot tea. I've been drinking hot tea all day, just so you guys know, but I'm going to get myself a hot tea after this video. This chat is top notch. Fuck yeah, baby. You know it. This chat, honestly, the culture of this chat, and I'm not trying to, you know, the culture of this chat is crazy. Wait, did Kelly hit 420 subs? 420 gifted subs. Let's go, Kelly. Thank you.
For the judge that ultimately presided over his trial.
Well, Kimmy, I know you've been here.
September
I'm not saying hi like you haven't. I know you've been here.
14th, 2012, 55 years after Maria's life was taken, Jack McCullough was convicted of the crime. He was handed a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Excuse me, sir. Off topic, but you really need to trim that eyebrow hair. That's literally going down to your bottom eyelid. Hello? That would be bugging me so much. Wait, so sorry, so it wasn't enough. Evidence will not prove to be enough for him to relent and offer a confession. However,
it was, however, plenty for the judge that ultimately presided over his trial. On September 14th, 2012, 55 years after Maria's life was taken, Jack McCullough was convicted of the crime. He was handed a life sentence without the possibility of parole for 20 years, at which point he would be 93 years old. It must have been somewhat of a bittersweet moment for the living members of Maria's family and the Tessier sisters as they stood on the courthouse steps after McCullough's fate was decided. On one hand, the man who had tormented their minds for so long was finally being held accountable. But on the other, nothing could take back the evil things he had done, or the fact that he had gotten away with it for so long.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. It's so hard to, like, accept that someone's done something so fucking heinous and awful and managed to live, like, a very comfortable, cozy life afterwards. It's just so wrong and so unfair. But, at the same time, being very old and vulnerable and then getting shit on and having to go to prison would also be fucking awful. It doesn't make it okay, but it'd be fucking awful to go to prison when you're really old.
Even though his being brought to justice was long overdue, Jack McCullough's case does have a silver lining to it. A message to any victim who ever feels like giving up hope, or monster who thinks they've well and truly run out the clock. Justice doesn't have an expiry date. And even if it feels like 1 million people have turned their back on you, that doesn't mean the next one will. Whenever you make that next phone call, or
why is there still 10 minutes left on this video? It's making me really anxious.
Send off that next email, you never know who will be on the other end of it. It may just be that one person who will finally set things right. There's just one problem. Jack McCullough was totally innocent. Now bear in mind, people are seldom found innocent, as opposed to not guilty. Usually, acquittals come down to a judge or jury determining there is an insufficient level of proof to justify conviction, but you can't necessarily take that as a proclamation the person on trial did not commit the crime. This is not the case with Jack McCullough. Jack McCullough positively did not murder Maria Ridolph. He couldn't have, just like he said in his interrogation. Why that is boils down to two facts. 1. John Tessier placed a collect call from a post office in Rockford to Sycamore at 6:57 p.m. on December 3rd. 2. Maria Ridolph's abduction in Sycamore is firmly established to have taken place between 6:30 and 7 p.m. on December 3rd. Before breaking down why these facts categorically rule John Tessier out, let's establish why they are facts, not just well-founded opinions. When the FBI initially
What? I still don't feel bad about anything I said because no matter what, this person is a piece of shit. This person is a piece of shit regardless and did some very fucking awful things regardless of not doing this. But what? We now have less than 10 minutes for this case to be solved.
investigated John.
They better find out who this is in the next 10 minutes. I've just spent 48 minutes watching an innocent being sold a lie about an innocent person.
Tessier. He mentioned the collect call.
Chat, I've just got to go and get some water really quick. I'm like really thirsty. My throat's drying up. I'll be 1 sec. Yeah, we actually just got fucking rolled. We just got fucking rolled. Hey, listen, if you guys get hit with an ad, please gobble it up for me. I'd really appreciate it. Just gobble that ad up. If you haven't followed the stream yet, make sure you do. It's free and it supports me and you won't miss the next ones and stuff. I'm playing Phasmophobia today in 45 minutes with the boys. That's going to be really fun. And yeah, I'm going to be streaming more true crime because I forgot how much I loved streaming true crime. So I'm going to be doing more than that. So gobble this ad up for me. I'm just going to go get some water. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Oh, wait. I got to take my headphones off. Oh, God. Am I going to be able to play Phasmophobia today? I have no brain. I have no brain. Oof. Alright, I'll be back. I'll be back, my sweet angels. Don't go anywhere. You better not. Oh. Oh, that's better. Oh, Gerald! Oh my god. Gerald Nelson almost went flying. Alright, he's good. Okay, sorry chat, I'm back. I was speaking to Abby about something really quick. Hi my sweet angels, I'm back, my loves. Snaily, did you gift 3 subs? Snaily. Alright chat, we're cancelling. I can't speak. We're cancelling. We're cancelling Snaily, chat. Snaily's cancelled for the rest of the day. Thank you so much for the 3 gifted subs. You've gifted like 13 subs today, maybe more. Can we please get some, what is this?
There's just one problem.
True crime. Loki's look of shock. Loki's look of shock as the world has turned upside down. I actually do want to see this. Can you guys see it? I don't have that. Yeah, you guys can see it. Wait.
There's just one problem. Jack McCullough was totally innocent. Now bear in mind, people are seldom found innocent, as opposed to not guilty. Usually,
oh, for fuck's sake, my
acquittals
tongue
come
is
down
moving
to a
so
judge or
much.
Jury determining there is an insufficient
Why does my
level of
tongue
proof
do
to
that?
justify.
That's so weird. I still will never get over the fact that that's my tongue. Okay, alright. Alright. So can we do a recap of what happened? Yeah, we've just watched a 48-minute video all about someone we thought was guilty of the crime, and we've just found out that they're not. Check out Steve's stream and die laughing. This better be fucking good. This better be the best, funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Dumb ugly son, that's it! Dumb ugly son.
Alright, so that was pretty good. Let's see how this fits.
Please, I can't wait to hear this. What is this?
Turn that off. Alright.
Please play it from the beginning.
And we got this in.
Somebody stole my Nissan.
Cool.
Somebody stole my Nissan.
What's a me
I
song?
gotta write these down, man.
What's a
Holy
me
shit.
song?
Please play it from the beginning. Hold on, man. I haven't even.
Somebody.
Wait. Okay, Koji, here you go so far. You ready for this?
I'm so ready. Thank you. Trigger warning, chat. Oh!
This isn't what the verse sounds like.
I just called my mom. She's smaller than before. She can fit through any door, baby.
What?
Somebody stole my Nissan. Nobody knows the reason. Dumb ugly son. Oh, that's it. Dumb ugly son.
Bro, I fuck with this. This so hard. This is some
What'd you think,
sad
Koji?
boy shit, and I'm
How'd you
here
like
for
that?
it.
Dumb ugly son, dude.
Incredible.
Bro, I fuck with this so hard. This is some sad boy shit, and I'm here for it, man. Oh, cool. So how does the bass go in this?
All right. Well, anyway, sorry. We're actually doing true crime over here, so I'm so sorry for that interruption. I'm so sorry we're rudely interrupted by that. What a fucking schlapper, though. Chat, here you go. Schlapper or Napper, Steve's new song. Schlapper or Napper. Is it a banger? Does it slap? Or does it make you want to take a nap? That was the crime. That was the crime of the day. No, chat, chapper isn't a thing. Chat, why'd you do this to me every time? Chapper is not a thing. That doesn't mean anything. Oh, do you know what? All right, back to the video. If you guys can't just simply answer whether it's a schlapper or a napper, you guys put chapper every fucking time. It doesn't mean anything. It's a schlapper for sure. Alright, at least some people are saying schlapper. I don't actually think anyone put napper, which is very, very kind of you guys. Big schlapper. Alright. Wait sec, guy. Alright, okay. Anyway, let's get back to this video because we need to finish this video up. Holy shit, we're supposed to be...
his alibi.
Let's do it.
The FBI did their due diligence in following up on this. And the resulting paperwork of that investigation is publicly available to this day. They spoke to the general manager of the Sycamore Ogle Telephone Company, who was able to confirm that a collect call was in fact placed by a John S. Tessier to the home of Ralph E. Tessier in Sycamore at 6:57
I can't believe he's not done
and
this.
The call was placed from the phone number 2-9297. That level of detail might seem a bit excessive, but you'll get why we're making note of it in a moment. Before that though, a bit of an explainer on the time frame of Maria's abduction, because there is some contention around this, even though, as you'll hopefully...
I'm telling you, chat, this cold case better be fucking solved in this video. The title of the video is The Coldest Case Ever Solved. We're running out of time. We've got 8 minutes left.
Agree very soon. There really shouldn't be. The FBI established Maria's abduction as taking place between 6:45 and 7 p.m. That time frame was based off of...
Check the upload date of the video and it'll make more sense. This is an April Fool. Is this an April Fool video? Chat, I'll rage quit this video right now. I will Alt F4 this video with 8 minutes left right fucking now. That's got to be a coincidence. You don't April Fool's people with true crime videos. You don't April Fool's people with true crime videos. Especially cold cases.
Of multiple accounts from neighbors, as well as Maria's own family. Most importantly, her father Michael. Now granted, memory
definitely a
is
coincidence. Yeah, I completely agree.
Especially in the midst of crisis. But not all memories are equal, and you can be a lot more confident in the time someone places a recent memory if they are basing that time off of a connection to something specific. Maria's brother, mother, and father all told the FBI that she came into the house to get her doll after 6:30. Her father, Michael, said he wasn't able to place the exact time because he was preoccupied by a television show he was watching, the Western series Cheyenne, which aired at 6:30. When Larry Cott was reinvestigating the case, he knew the FBI timeline, coupled with John Tessier's phone call, was a big problem. An insurmountable one, in fact. We can see this in the way he bent over backward to create a new timeline that could place Maria's abduction significantly earlier than 6:30, let alone 6:45. What Cott essentially did was write off all eyewitness accounts that placed Maria's abduction in the time frame the FBI established as wrong, and then combed through interviews to find anyone who could be read as placing it earlier. One account he found was from an oil delivery man named Tom Brady, who by his estimation saw the girls playing when he...
Imagine that. Imagine being a cold case solver or working cold cases, and then, I'm not saying that's what this person has done, but imagine cheating and convicting just any old person because all you want is the glory of solving cold cases, and you're not actually solving them, you're just convicting someone that didn't do it.
He was making a delivery around 6:15 p.m. Cott cross-referenced this with a bus driver who drove past the corner where the girls were playing at about 6:30 p.m. and claimed to have not seen them. There's absolutely no reason to disbelieve the bus driver's account and the time he placed it, but it doesn't do much if anything to help move the timeline back, because the bus driver would have no reason to be keeping an eye out for two little girls playing on the street, so it's entirely plausible they were there, and he just didn't make note of them. That you would put more credence in the bus driver than Maria Ridolph's own family, coupled with several other neighbors, is inexplicable. Unless, of course, your only goal was to move the timeline to implicate McCullough. Larry Cott ultimately concluded Maria was abducted no later than 6:20 p.m. He also reasoned just because McCullough could prove he placed a call from Rockford at 6:57 p.m. didn't mean he could prove from where within Rockford the call was placed. If he abducted Maria Ridolph on the street corner in Sycamore at 6:20 p.m., or even a little earlier, and placed the call from the outskirts of town in Rockford, he would have even more of a window to make the commute. This is another illustration of how much tunnel vision Larry Cott was operating under. Remember, it wasn't established as being merely a phone booth somewhere in Rockford. The manager at the phone company confirmed it as being from a specific number, 2-9297, and that specific number can be traced to the area in Rockford that John Tessier claimed he placed the call from at the time. With all of this in mind, let's take a look at the sort of commute we're talking about, and you should quickly get an idea of why investigators were trying to buy every minute they could to make this work. Here is a Google Maps route from the corner Maria was taken from to the outskirts of Rockford. So we're actually going with Larry Cott's hypothesis to start with, even though it's not credible. Now bear in mind, this is far from a precise picture of what the situation would have been in 1957, but all the differences you need to factor in add time to Tessier's best case scenario commute. The roads were different. He would have been driving in snowy conditions and using a car from the 50s. But going with this modern projection that doesn't take any of those factors into account, Google's quickest route is still a 31-minute drive covering 24 miles. So even if you allow that Maria was taken at 6:20 p.m., which there really is no reason to, and that John Tessier placed the call from the outskirts of town, which he didn't, and you don't take any of the variables we just mentioned into account, which you absolutely should, still, even then, the only way John Tessier's alibi doesn't still cover him in Larry Cott's scenario is that perhaps his abducting Maria Ridolph would not literally break the laws of time and space. He would have less than 10 minutes to spare from the time he ran off with Maria to arriving at the phone booth. A feat that, while maybe not literally impossible, is so far-fetched that it should be discounted by any reasonable person. Then when you place Maria Ridolph's abduction where it actually was, and you put John Tessier in the actual area we know he was when he made that phone call, you still don't even need to take the roads, conditions, and car into account before you find the scenario is going that extra mile and breaking the laws of time and space. There is simply no way it could have happened. So you might now be wondering, how did Jack McCullough get convicted? The FBI files were ruled inadmissible. Yeah, ain't that a hoot? Kind of hard defending yourself when the key piece of evidence exonerating you is off the table. As you would imagine, there was an appeals process, and it resulted in the vacating of McCullough's conviction on April 15th of 2016, once the FBI files were taken into account. And a little less than a year after that, he was issued a certificate of innocence, categorically clearing his name in the eyes of the law.
So who did it?
Sorry for essentially lying to you for over 45 minutes, but it wasn't done to waste your time. It was to illustrate a point that's always worth keeping in mind whenever you open a newspaper or turn on the television. There's always more than one way to tell a story, and the way this story was told for most of the video's duration was very much in line with how it was being told by the mainstream press while everything was unfolding at the time. And it's not as if McCullough's recorded alibi wasn't known of during that period. He and his family were screaming about it to anyone who would listen. He even explicitly made the point about the phone call during part of the interrogation we deliberately fought through.
If I made a phone call from Rockford, which you got...
I know right where it's at, yeah.
And at 7 o'clock, Sycamore is 30 miles away from Rockford.
But just like it didn't suit the investigator's case, nor did it suit the story most of the media wanted to tell. The coldest case ever solved is just a much more enticing headline than a half-century later, one more dead end. And you can make that first headline work even without the facts on your side, so long as you're in charge of telling the story. Just choose what to leave in, what to leave out, what to emphasize, and what to brush over. When given subjective behavioral cues, interpret them as uncharitably as possible. Whenever something comes up that looks good, pick as many holes in it as you can.
Chat, we
Whenever
really
something
did get
comes up that
debated
looks
so
bad,
fucking hard. It's like, wow, we got so debated.
leave it hanging. And to be clear, there are plenty of things in this case that really did look very bad for Jack McCullough, matching Kathy.
Sound alerts aren't working? Wait, have you guys redeemed sound alerts and they haven't worked? This is not real knocking. I so almost look. I just did that to test it, and I so almost looked over my fucking shoulder. Holy shit, I almost looked over my shoulder. Are they not working? I don't know why they wouldn't be working, honestly. Yeah, sorry, chat. I was testing it.
Kathy Sigmund's physical description, her eventual positive.
Fucking hell. Oh my god, chat. Look. That's actually crazy. The picture I posted of like Ellum, me, 5up Talia, G, and Kara has got 13.6 thousand likes on Twitter. What the fuck?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Facts. Facts. Don't ask us me. I was just really surprised when I looked at the... Who did that? Where's the thing? Natty, thank you so much for the 500 bits and the sound alert. That's literally exactly... That sound sums up exactly how I feel today. What does this say? In the 90s, an officer closed the case accusing a truck driver who had been accused of similar cases around the same area. His appearance was similar too. This evidence, however, was circumstantial at best and could not be confirmed as the truck driver had passed away a few years before then. Lieutenant who's closed the case had admitted the evidence was not enough, and therefore he said the case is closed but not solved.
Identification of him, his history of sex abuse.
Do I need a jump scare, Koji? No, I actually, funnily enough, I definitely don't. I'm fragile today. I'm in a fucking blankie on stream. Chat, I'm fragile. Wait. I've only been live for 2.5 hours, and we're on 71 daily subs today. Chat, you guys are way too good to me. Thank you.
Had time to get into, by the way. The mysteriously unused train ticket, the creepy piggyback ride incident with Pamela Long, the strange disappearance of his adult daughter, though to be fair, there's no evidence linking him to that.
Oh, Martin, take it easy, thank you.
Either. Just unused train ticket, the creepy piggyback ride incident with Pamela Long, the strange disappearance of his adult daughter, though to be fair, there's no evidence linking him to that incident either, and his mother's deathbed confession, according to the account of his estranged sister who openly despises him. All of these things look bad. Terrible, in fact, and this video isn't striving to argue that Jack McCullough is a really nice guy, but he did not kill Maria Rudolph. Because no amount of things...
Oh my god, and do you know what else is so fucked? Guys, do you remember how he was speaking about Maria every time she got mentioned? And he was actually innocent.
Look bad can ever trump the cold, hard constraints of reality. And it's for that reason that, unfortunately, Maria Rudolph's story remains one without an ending.
You got debated. You got debated. Wow, we got absolutely debated. Holy fuck.